So this scene update was pretty shocking. For some of you guys, it's old news, but for me, I'm only just figuring it out as I'm trying to catch up with seeing news. So what I'm about to share with you guys is the two new characters, which are Shion and Tiana, who are from the Langrisser Millennium series. I'm pretty sure a lot of the Langrisser fans were all asking for more of the spin-off series, like how we got the Tensei characters like Ares. As someone who has never played a single Langrisser game, I think it's really cool that they're finally bringing more characters from the other series. And who knows, there might be even more out there, although there are some other of the characters that some of us really want. Moving along, let's take a look at Shion. He's part of the protagonist, Glory, Euless faction who can be infantry and cavalry class, who needs his banner partner Tiana for his bonds. His talent increases his attack. At the end of action, if you have fought this round without getting a kill, you will receive King's Order, that increases damage by 20% when entering battle with an active attack and attacks before the enemy for 2 turns. When you enter a battle with an active attack that deals lethal damage, you can choose to harden the enemy, and then it makes them unable to move, defend, attack, or use skills the next turn, and apply Idle, that reduces their damage and heal by 30%. That ignores immunity and cannot be dispelled for 2 turns. Then you restore 100% of your own HP when pardoning the enemy. What an interesting mechanic. So he gets rewarded both ways, whether if he kills or not, with killing being the best reward. And I'm not sure if that debuff is random, but if it isn't, then that option leaves a lot of different decision making. Quite versatile depending on the situation. He has a single target skill that dispels 3 buffs from the enemy before battle and can move 3 blocks after battle. When entering battle from a distance, the skill has a cooldown of 1 turn. His other skill, if there's an enemy with idle within 3 blocks, looks like that he gets a revive, so yeah. The damage taken on behalf of the deceased will not exceed 5 times of his health. Yeah, I'm not sure what that means. But it has a cooldown of 2 turns. After using the skill, he heals 30% of his HP and gains King's Order that lasts for 2 turns and acts again 3 blocks. Pretty cool, pretty cool. So this skill, wait, hold up. Yo, another faction buff? Hold up, like back to back? First was Langrisser and now Shion? So he's a faction buffer for the protagonist team. So the special effect of this one increases single target skill damage, but if it doesn't kill them, its cooldown is reduced by 1, all for 4 turns. Skill cooldown is so good. So you're definitely going to be seeing this a lot like against the tougher enemies, like in boss fights. But you know what I really want to see? It's another faction buffer for the Meteor team. We need someone new really bad. His 3C has a faction buff that increases damage by 50% and reduces skill cooldown by 1 when using a single target skill without killing the enemy for 4 turns. This 3C is a single target skill that dispels 5 buffs before battle if at least 2 allied died, gains Mandate of Heaven that increases damage by 30% when actively attacking in battle, attacks before the enemy, and this effect duration is increased by 1 when he triggers King's Order for 2 turns. If you are unsuccessful in destroying the enemy with this skill, then you can act again that has a 2-turn cooldown. Honestly, not too bad. He seems very good. Dude gets a whopping 35% more damage for free, 45% if you get his 3C buff. Also, I do like how you basically get a full refresh on his other single target skill, thanks to his faction buff. So in areas where you have to fight like the tougher enemies, Shion can get his talent buff constantly, and if you run out, you can use his act again skill to get it back. Seeing the way how Shion works, if you do decide to use him in PvP, I can see that Shion will definitely fish out for kills to make that talent debuff work. Now, I'm not sure how reliable that is, since I'm not sure if it's random or not, but if you are able to choose, then I can maybe see the reason why you would use him. If not, then he's just a strong dude who can deal lots of damage. From what I can see, only one of those debuffs is kinda worse to get out of 3 of them at least. This debuff right here, I feel like that's a bigger deciding factor of whether or not how useful and reliable Shion will be, at least on the PvP side of things. For regular content, this guy will be amazing to use. His banner partner, Tiana, the other Langrisser Millennium character, she's part of the Glory, Meteor, Euless faction that can be Lancer and Assassin class, who needs her banner partner, Shion, for bonds. Her talent has her attack and defense increase, and is affected by melee reduction. At the end of operation, designates another non-summon ally to gain Ward, which ignores immunity and undispellable. When an ally with Ward is within 3 blocks, whenever it attacks or is attacked, it enters battle in place of it, and can attack from a distance. All attributes of both sides are increased by 50%, has a revive, after which the unit's health will return to the amount of HP beforehand. Wait, this revive has a 2-turn cooldown? Okay, yeah, I do get that this means that she has to play around that specific ally, and I know I'm always critical about this. I feel like that they need to stop giving out these revives to so many of these new characters. For some of them, it makes sense. A few like Awakener and Tyranto was a fresh take on it, so it was really refreshing and a lot more rewarding. It's like I said, I do get that she has to play around that one ally all the time, but lately, I feel like that they just slap it on anyone and call it a day. I feel like it's so rare for me to be upset about Langrisser, but it does get tiring seeing almost every new character get the same OP thing, mainly just about the whole revive thing. She has a skill with the passive where if there are no allies within 3 blocks from the Guardian, gains +2 movement power. Using this heals 30% HP and gains personal guard. So the next time that you enter battle for an ally on behalf of the Guardian, if you have already acted this turn, you can act again that has a 3-turn cooldown that's undispellable. After using it, number of buffs isn't reduced and act again 3 blocks. Yeah, I feel like that they just took Shion's act again skill and just spin it around. The similarity is kinda right there. She has this AoE skill that attacks the first enemy in a straight line, afterwards gains burst blade attack. When entering battle, she does more damage and attacks before the enemy and heals 20% of HP before battle for 2 turns. It does have a 1-turn cooldown, so it's really spammable. 3C passive inflicts Lonely on the enemy that's immune and undispellable for 2 turns. When fighting an enemy with Lonely, ignores guard and deals damage directly to the hero. This is a single target skill where you gain attack? I'm not sure what that means, but I'm thinking if there's one skill that just increases your attack. I'm not sure what that means, and also tenacity too. Before battle for 2 turns. So it's gonna attack with you. If there are allies within 3 blocks of the Guardian, the cooldown of the skill is reduced by 5 after battle. Otherwise, she can teleport anywhere within 3 blocks of allies Guardian, which has a 2-turn cooldown. Oh wait, I don't know why it just clicked to me right now, but I just realized that she's a tank. And it looks like that she's a tank for one specific ally. Wow, I don't know why I just realized that right now. I feel like you guys were just banging your heads realizing how dumb I sounded. So yeah, she's this offensive tank with no real tanking capability, but with the right builds, you can definitely make it work. And she does have good tools too, like self-healing. Her being this attacker is really quite simple from what it looks like. Playing around that one ally gives you more mobility. She can act again, has an AoE that buffs her, but it's also a good way to set up her 3C. Yeah, that's the vision that I can see with this character. So I take back about what I said about her having a revive. But I still believe that they do need to stop giving so much of these characters a revive. If it's something like this, then I'm really fine with it, honestly. Even with Shion, because you have to put the work in it. So far, both of these characters look really great. Especially Tiana, since there's a lot more that you can do with her. We got an exclusive armor for Gunn. Each time the talent is triggered to remove Vengeful Lone Wolf, his healing effect is reduced. Wolf King's Will gains an additional effect. At the end of action, you can choose to remove Moonwolf Force and gain a Vengeful Lone Wolf that has a 1-turn cooldown. That's the one that lets him do more damage, right? Or it gives him more damage increase and he can attack first. I'm pretty sure that's right. So if that's the case, then that would be really insane. Since his whole issue was him having to die first in order to get all of those. So having this, you'll have a lot more freedom using Gunn. And also, are they only doing one exclusive now? So far, we've been getting one recently. I wonder what's going on. Maybe they realized they were getting ridiculous. Maybe they're changing it up to be a lot more better now. Yeah, I'm not sure. For the casting skills, first we got is Elwin. When there are no allies in the surrounding 2 blocks of the Radiant Returns, whatever that means, uses Eternal Glow to enter battle and increases the attack by 30%, and after killing the target, he triggers the passive of it. Yo, yes! This was a huge problem for him, because the only way for you to reapply the faction buff again, at least with this 3C, was to have an ally die, something that you don't want in regular content. Everyone should be getting this, if you do enjoy using the glowy team very often. Second is for Autokrato. When you cast a skill with teleport or movement, apply an additional -2 movement for 2 turns. Okay, he is all about breaking formation, so it makes sense. Third we got is Wehttam. If there's a summoner within 3 blocks of Shadow of Al-Hazard, it will deal AoE damage to enemies within 3 blocks of death and apply Despair. Otherwise, at the end of action, you can choose to teleport within 2 blocks around him. Pretty nice so that it always stays near him for it to work. Also really like how they even add the debuff too. I feel like if they only did damage with that, it would be very plain. Last one is for Lisa. Each time a form is selected, removes the Covenant of Nature cooldown. I don't understand Lisa that much, so I can't really say much about her. But so far, all these casting skills look very good. I'm so glad that Elwin is a lot more usable now. Some of the interesting banners that I saw was a Radar Port Isolde, a Langrisser mobile banner, which is very new recently. As for the content that Shion got, the Tower Defense game mode, the Rune Workshop makes a return, Anarchy casting stage unlock, extra Sync Realm chance, golden vouchers from dailies, floating city output increase, and Gate of Fates. A raffle event of some kind to just get rewards, a login event where you can choose to get either Freya or Lifney Summer Skin. If you already have both of them, then you get 2 vouchers instead. A farmable event where you get a hero bag but only has 8 of the old characters in it. A lot more targeted towards new players, but for people such as myself, all we're gonna be getting are some Essence Stones. A new timer thanks to the introduction of another Langrisser series being brought in. Wait, now that I think about it, was there like no story related content for the Tensei characters with Ares in them? Man, I don't remember. I feel like that they did, but it's like in the main storyline. Because all I really remember was that they were brought in all of the event from that game. Which is why we got a new version of them. Because like something tragic happened, I believe. And then they all like changed or something. I think they did, but it was like in a different way where we see it as like a flashback of some kind. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what they did. I don't know, maybe you guys can let me know. I'm not really too familiar with the storyline, but I do scrim it so I know some part of it. A Wheel of Fortune for some rewards that includes 4 soldier skin with a text frame. They do cost a lot of crystals by the way, and it's replacing the Macho Lotto for this update at least. Hoping at least. It would make no sense that it would, but most likely 99%, it's just for this update. There are these Angelica skins where you can just redeem them for stuff like scrolls and gold. For some of the new skins, we got an Echo of Light for both Shion and Tiana. Shion's design is so sick, man, it actually goes crazy. In the store, a Maya wedding skin. I know there are some people who really like Maya, so I'm sure this is like a dream come true for them. Hey, it's all games. Can we please make an Angelina wedding skin happen? Please? I know that she has a ton of skins, but please? 4 of the soldier skin from the Wheel of Fortune event includes Forest Priest, Lizard skin, Bat Mage, and Dead Gunner. I'll say the Bat Mage skin is looking really sick. I'm a sucker for mostly of the cooler design of things, but I do appreciate the other ones, I like them a lot. They're quite silly. So that was about everything, if not most of everything that the CN side got. Both of the new characters look very great. And from what I've seen, looks like that we are receiving more of the Langrisser Millennium characters. I'm pretty sure they are from the series. I don't know any of the Langrisser characters besides the one in the mobile version. I feel like I got them like all memorized at this point, which is pretty wild. Which is really understandable considering what I do. And just because I've seen them doesn't mean I know what they do, since I'm trying to catch up to make videos like these as my first impressions of what CN got. But that's all I got. If you guys did enjoy this video, feel free to like and subscribe want to see more, and feel free to let me know down in the comments how you guys feel about Shion and Tiana, or anything else that CN got. So yeah, thanks for watching. Your fellow Z.